What is natural food for human beings? Is it this orange? This orange? Is it the egg? Is that the natural food? Is it the persimmon? Is it the steak I'm eating? Is the raw chicken? Hell yeah. What about the raw milk? What about the tree leaves? Or the grass on the ground? What does it even matter? What's natural and what's no? I can eat whatever the fuck I want. It's actually pretty interesting if you think about. If you say to people, what do you think is the natural food for human beings? What do you think most people think first? What's the images that pierce their brains when they hear the words natural and food? I would bet most of the people living on this earth would think about vegetables, fruits. They associate nature with green things, probably. They don't think about the red things. They don't think about the raw chicken. They did fantastic job programming us, because if most people think about that, most of these people have been in the nature, at least somewhat. And how many of these people have seen these fruits and vegetables they think about? These nuts and seeds. How many of them have they seen in nature? Where do you find these persimmons, these oranges, those kale chips, or whatever vegetables, tomatoes, eggplants, cucumbers? Those are fruits. Where do you find those peanuts, beans, seeds, nuts? And if you find them, do you want to eat them? Well, first of all, do you find them anywhere? I haven't seen them. I've seen some berries here and there, couple weeks in a year. Bro, I haven't even seen an apple tree in nature. But I have seen plenty of animals in the nature, plenty of fish in the nature. Now, if you can't find animals in the nature, and people have seemed to be, if we look back or we study indigenous people, what are they been eating? Because they kinda live in the nature and they've been surviving. You could almost say thriving there. All this time. What had they been doing? Well, they hunt, they kill those animals we see in the nature, and they use every single part of them. pretty much. How is their health? Is those natural animal foods good for human beings? That would indicate maybe that it is the natural food for human beings, because you can find plenty of them in the nature, and if you eat them, they do no harm. They actually give you life force. They help you to build your body up. They give you energy. They support the functions of your body. Now you're gonna have to kill those animals. That seems to be issue for some moral people in the system world. But it doesn't seem to be the problem for the people living in the nature, because if they wouldn't do that, they wouldn't survive themselves. So maybe animals are natural human food. It kind of looks like that if you think about it. And if you know some biochemistry, you know a little bit more about sciences, you know that your body gets pretty much everything it needs from the animal products. And plants and fruits, vegetation, those things lack quite a bit that your body needs. Even vegans had meat B12. But back in the day we used to get it from the mud or the water. Okay, bro. Okay, bro. Because humans really find eating mud attractive instead of animals. Now, then some people come up with the argument, but these days, we live in the modern society these days, with the scientific evolutions, technologies these days. Now I would be open-minded to it if I would see, when I look around, a bunch of healthy and happy human beings. But seems to be the complete opposite. But let's talk about these animal foods first. Because we are getting somewhere with this. Because these animal foods, they kinda seem kinda natural food for human beings. But what is the most natural state to be eating these animal foods? Did people always used to have fire on them? What happens to this meat when I put it on fire? What happens to your ass when you put it on fire? It creates some damage. What happens to the things that we human beings use from this piece of meat when we put it inside of us and we eat it? We get all these compounds, these vitamins and nutrients and minerals from these. What happens to those when we put it on fire? Because that's processing the food. Is it not? But if there really is those deadly things we cannot see, those bacteria and viruses that kill a whole lot of people, then the fire also kills them. It might kill some or destroy some of the vitamins, some of the proteins, some of the minerals, the water. It might destroy some of that, but it also destroys the bad stuff. But none of the people living in the nature know anything about it. This bad stuff, because they seem to have been eating quite a bit of raw meat, and if it really was so bad, they would probably notice it, because these people ain't dumb. They are anything but dumb and retarded. They freaking survive in the nature. We survive in these little boxes that are heated up. We don't know shit about real life. Those people, they're the geniuses. They're the real G's. So they would probably notice over all these centuries the bad invincible stuff you get from this stuff that causes a lot of pain and suffering. Your tummy gonna be hurting. So they would probably stop that. Because people in nature, they don't really like to hurt themselves without any reason. They're not really about their life, unlike we are. So which one is more natural for human beings? Raw? Cooked? Now, dairy is another story, because dairy is for the baby cows. If it comes from a cow, it's for the baby animals. And some people seem to not be able to be a baby cow. Is it their fault, or is it the milk's fault? What about cheese? What about cream? What about? Again, this stuff, process it from this stuff. How natural is it for human beings? Are we supposed to eat what baby cows are eating? What about this person? Never seen one in the nature like this. How did they make these? What about these oranges? Never seen one in the forest myself. Is it did they found it like this in the nature? Did they do something from it? When you play God, you might get some weird results because we ain't the gods or God or whatever. So think about it. What's our natural food? What is natural food for human beings? What makes the most sense? That's a good base for everything you'll be eating. See ya.